I'm going to reevaluate this on my third visit. I came here last year. I love the resort. I still do. The resort is nice, but for swimming and you know, just vacationing on the beach and whatnot, it's very nice, very well designed, a great resort, but it is now more expensive than last year in every regard. Prices have risen here. Food prices have since last year. Also, the quality of the food has degraded, very much so. If you look at my videos, I praised this resort last year. I've got you know, pretty much all the restaurants, the buffet and whatnot. To start off with the, let's start with the buffet. Last year you had a choice of all kinds of great seafood that you could choose from the buffet, meaning lobster, crab claws, oysters, all kinds of shellfish. I mean, a plethora of items in that section. Well, they're now gone. And the price is still the same at the buffet, which was $54, but now they include the gratuity fee, which is $15 and a 12% VAT, which they didn't have last year. It's a big difference now. You're talking about 27%. Now, for the restaurants, we pretty much visited all the restaurants like we did last year. And we know the difference because we were here last year and we know the quality of the food and the portions of the food that we got in comparison to this year. For example, at Philia, which is a celebrity-owned restaurant by Michael Schwartz, they've cut down on their portions. Not only that, the prices have gone up. For example, you can get a Caesar salad now for, it's $29. I believe last year they were $19 or $21. And last year they had the Caesar salad made in front of you at your table with a cart. They came out professionally presented and they gave you a huge portion. One portion was good for 2 people and then some. This year it's $29 and you do not get the same portion salad. It is actually much smaller. So you do need 2 salads in order to satisfy both you and your better half. And other foods that we had as well from there, okay, a variety of different appetizers and entrees, again, are a little more expensive than last year, and we did not find them as good as last year. So that's a little disappointing. So if you're a family with children that want to visit this resort and have a great time, keep in mind it's going to cost you a lot of money. Burgers out here are $15, I believe. Soda pops are $5. Drinks are, I don't know, $15. They're not cheap, so keep that in mind before coming. You go to an all-inclusive, it's a different story. You know, you're not going to get the quality of food, but again, you're going to pay for it here. It's a lot more expensive. Last year, the food inside the restaurants were a lot more reasonable than they are this year. They did not include your 15% gratuity. If you didn't get good service, you didn't have to tip. It's not so this year. This year, they include that in your bills. So you got the extra 15%, and you got your VAT, which is 12%. So whatever you eat, you're going to pay an extra 27%. Now, room charges and different fees here. Resort fees are $60 a day over and above your ticket. So I don't care if you book with Expedia or whoever you booked with, you're still going to pay a $60 fee, a resort fee. I mean, that's normal though. I believe just about all the resorts do charge that. But that's the cost. I'm just letting you know so you know the costs of this resort. Room fees are also, and that's not even including your VAT. Now they charge you a VAT over and above. And they have all kinds of different type of room fees now that I didn't notice last year. You can check your room bill and the fees on your television, and you'll know what you're being charged for. A lot of these room fees and IBFT or whatever the heck it is they put on your screen, you know, an extra $40 here, $40 there. It adds up quickly. So it is very, very expensive. Now the service has declined very much so. For example, we ate at the Swimming Pig. We were there in the morning. There was hardly anybody in there. There was like maybe 8 or 10 people in there. It took 45 minutes to get just an eggs Benedict and waffles. That's it, 45 minutes. So it is very disappointing. Service has gone down. They also tell me that they've changed management there. So if they did, it's not for the better, that's for sure. Casino. Okay, if you're looking to play here, look elsewhere. And I'll tell you why. The casino staff here are very, very rude. And I repeat, they're very rude. They do not like it if you're winning. They don't even care if you're losing, but if you're winning especially, they do not like it. Let's say you're playing craps, okay, and you're shooting craps. You want to, you know, set your dice however you want to set it and roll. Well, they give you crap, no pun intended, if you throw the dice above the box person's head. Okay, we're talking about the person in the middle of the table, okay, who is sitting down, and they're very short. I mean, where they're sitting, dice always goes above that. Why can't you throw your dice how you want? They still hit the back table. I mean, it's random, you're not cheating, but they think you are. They're so stupid here. I mean, I've never seen anything like it in my life, and I've gone all over the world, from Vegas to you name it. I've played craps everywhere. It's my favorite game. And to top it all off, okay, I mean, I'm a small player. I don't play, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars like other people play. I had a player that was playing with me. His name was David. He was from the United States. He was visiting here for the first time. This guy's a big player. And I was playing at a table where he wanted to come into, so they reserved that side of the table. They didn't kick me off because I was already there before him, but nobody else could come at that side of the table. He wanted to be alone on that side of the table. In respect to him, I asked him if he wanted me to leave. He said no, so I stayed there with him. And I rolled my turn when my turn came. But on his turn, okay, this guy was betting about $15,000 to $25,000 per roll. So he was betting $2,000 on the pass line, another $10,000 if it was a 6 or an 8 on the odds, and he was placing all the numbers, you know, $1,000 to $2,000 per number. So he was betting even up to about $30,000 a hand, and he was rolling it the way he wanted to roll it. It was still hitting the back wall. Once in a while it wasn't, you know, maybe 8 out of the 10 times it was hitting the back wall. Twice it wasn't, and they were giving him crap, okay, about that. And he started arguing. I mean, this guy was down, okay, I would say in the hour that I was there, about $400,000 to $500,000, and they were still arguing with him. He was arguing back. The F word was used, and I was dumbfounded at the service they gave a player of his caliber. I mean, if anything, you would treat this guy like royalty. Let him do whatever he wants, other than cheat, obviously. But I mean, the guy was losing, so whatever he was doing wasn't working for him. So who cares how he was throwing the dice and what they were doing? That's how anal these people are here. Stay away from this casino. Avoid it like the plague. It is not good. Okay, I've had my run-ins with them too. Okay, and I mean, I don't bet a lot. I'll bet $25 a hand, you know, with odds of, you know, $50 to $100 and so on. So that's an average bet at the table, but I'm not a player like those guys are, because I don't like to gamble my money like that. Anyway, nonetheless, it's the same thing for me. They were giving me crap too, and I've been here 3 times now. This is the 3rd time. They never were like this last year, so I'm very surprised. And it wasn't just one table, it was all the tables, all the crap tables, and even all the other tables as well, including the blackjack, okay, poker tables, like, you know, not actual poker tables, but those stupid poker tables, ultimate poker and, you know, 3-card poker and all that. They don't actually have a poker room here. I saw another guy playing at the blackjack table, and he was also betting $1,000 a hand He was actually winning. So he won like 15, 20 hands out of 20. So 15 out of 20 hands, I believe he won. So he was actually making some money, and they didn't like it. They hate it when you win. They actually closed the table. He was playing on his own. They wanted to close the table on him. They said that, I don't know, they used some stupid excuse that they had more dealers and this dealer had to go on break or whatever, which is full of crap because they have dealers. They just didn't want this guy to keep winning. And who knows how much he was winning prior to that. And he raised some hell too. He didn't like that. And it's unfortunate. Another good player, probably never going to return. Stay away, folks, from the casino here. If you're looking to gamble and enjoy a night out at the casino, you're not going to have a good time here. That's for sure. The staff, like I said, at these casinos here are not good. Now, mind you, the casino is owned separately from the hotel, so that's not to take anything from the hotel, the Hyatt Baha Mar or the SLS or the Rosewood. It's a different group of individuals who own and run the casino. So if you're looking to gamble, my opinion and my advice is go to the Atlantis. They have phenomenal staff there. I've been going there for decades. I actually went there to gamble. I've been there now 5 days instead of here. Every time I want to gamble, I'll just go there. I won't gamble here anymore. Even though I did gamble and I still lost here. But again, it doesn't matter. I will much rather give my business to the Atlantis. And they don't say anything. And I actually won at the Atlantis. She lost here, but won at the Atlantis. And they never said nothing how I threw the dice or how I positioned them. They let me roll, no matter how high I shot them, whether they hit the back wall or not, which they did most of the time. Sometimes they don't, but they don't give you crap about that. They understand as long as the majority of the times it does. So, you know, don't be anal. You know, this is for the Baha Mar. Don't be like this to your customers. You know, you're in the service industry and you want to keep everybody here. And you don't want to lose your clientele. And unfortunately, you're going to lose your clientele the way you treat everybody. Yeah, not very good. So, as much as I loved this place last year, it is now a total opposite. I do not like this place as much as I did. And in cases, I don't like it at all anymore. Not the beach, mind you, I love the beach. I still love the beach, the swimming pools, but the service and the treatment you get has been downgraded by so much that it makes me not want to come back here again. I'm not saying I'm for the all-inclusives, although, you know, once in a while I don't mind them. It's just that when I go on holidays, I would like to have great food, not a subpar food. And unfortunately, with the all-inclusives, that's what you get. You don't get the greatest food, regardless of the resort and regardless where you go. This is what I found from my experience over the years. But yeah, check other resorts. I mean, next time I come back, I'm definitely staying at the Atlantis again. That's where I usually stay. That's not an all-inclusive resort, but I get treated like royalty there because I'm a returning customer. And that's not because I gamble. No, by all any means, I gamble a little bit, you know, maybe an hour here, an hour there throughout the week. And they don't care. It's not the gambling that they're looking for. It's the business. That's what they're looking for at the Atlantis. And they'll treat you like royalty if they see you coming back over and over again, especially over the years. I even stayed at their Cove when it first opened about 15 years ago. I was there 3 months after it opened, between 13 and 15 years ago. The Atlantis knows how to treat people. They're in the hospitality business, and you know, it shows it. Keep in mind, the Baha Mar, great resort, looks beautiful, like it did last year. This is what you're gonna pay, all right, if you're looking to come here. Dinner, for two people, between $200 and $250 at any of the restaurants, unless you're only having appetizers. But that's how expensive it is. If you're gonna have appetizers and entree, that's about what you're gonna pay. And that's before the 15% gratuity fee and 12% VAT. So you're looking at another 27% over and above that. So $250 plus 27%, do the math, you know exactly what you're paying for dinner. That's if you eat once. If you're gonna eat breakfast and lunch, then you're really in for a surprise at the end of the week of how much it's going to cost you. Because even breakfast, we just had breakfast. I had eggs Benedict and my wife had waffles. Sorry, French toast. It was 55 bucks, just to give you an idea. So that's not cheap. And the eggs Benedict were tiny, the smallest I've ever seen. Last year, They were a good portion. They were bigger bun, bigger eggs, and you got full. Not this year. They're like half the size, which is sad. Like I said, the quality of the food has gone down, the portions have gone down, the prices have gone up, so it does not make it interesting anymore for any family on a budget to come here, let alone a family. I mean, for any two people rather, let alone a family that's going to cost you an arm and a leg. So yes, go to the Atlantis. I find the Atlantis not as expensive, although that's also on the pricey side. But you got to remember, they've been around for decades, servicing you and everybody else, and they know how to do it. Now, maybe a little bit old, a little bit run down now because it's been there for more than 35 years, but it's still gorgeous, the Atlantis. Yeah, I got to tell you how these comps work. Okay, so let's say, for example, you wanted to, you're going to get comped here, regardless of what you do if you play. You're going to get comped on some of your food. So, for example, last year I played and I won. The first time I was here, I actually won like $4 grand, and I got comped 75% of my food that I ate. So wherever I went, to whatever restaurant I wanted, the first week I was here, they comped me. So whatever my bill was, if it was $1,200, they comped me like $700 or $800. I don't remember how much it was, and I paid the rest, which was really good, even though I won. But this year, it has changed. It now is a total of your losses. So if you lose $1,000, let's say, you're only going to get 10% comp towards your food that you eat here. So you're only going to get a $100 comp. Ridiculous. If you're winning, you're not going to get any comp. You get a very small amount of comp because they do value the hours that you gamble. So they'll see how many hours. If you have, let's say, 40 hours of gamble, you might get $300 in comp. But you have to gamble 40 hours to get that. Who the hell's going to gamble 40 hours that comes here? What's the point? It's like 6, 7 hours a day, 7 days. It's just stupid. You're not gonna do that. And the comp is very little. So they changed that as well. So that's a negative. I do not like that because, you know, you had free food. I had free food last year. So it didn't really matter how much the food was last year if you played, and it didn't matter if you won or lost. They valued your play and they valued your stay, and as long as you played, they gave you a pretty good comp. So yeah, keep that in mind. That's a huge negative, because now I've got to pay for all my food as opposed to last year where I actually got comped because I did some gambling. That's not so with the Atlantis, by the way. The Atlantis still takes care of their customers, whether you win or lose. If you play there, as a matter of fact, I called the Atlantis before I got here, and they were going to comp me the entire week. I had a full week comp over there, and if I wanted additional stay, okay, it was only $80 a night because they value me as a player. Over here, I only got comped 3 days out of 1 week. Okay, I did come back here for 2 weeks. I paid for my second week, and I'm paying for the other 4 days of the first week, but at least I only came here really because my wife likes the ocean and whatnot. I mean, I like it here too. I miss the Atlantis. I wish I was back there sometimes, but I'm going to revisit it next year or the following year. It depends when I come back. To top it all off, this resort is like 10 times busier. Look how busy it is now, and look at my video from last year and see hardly anybody on the beach. And this is not even that busy right now. Last week was even busier than this week. So you had a lot more customers here in the week prior to this. So with more people coming here, you know, obviously they're starting to make some money now. Last year it was dead, and obviously they needed advertising, and social media travels fast. You advertise them. I have my YouTube videos. I've got lots of views on my walk around tour of this hotel, and a lot of people from that particular tour that I gave have told me they're going to be visiting. So yeah, I'm sure they had a great time, but unfortunately with pricing not the same as last year, you know, which I didn't know, from restaurants to all kinds of new charges and service charges and whatnot, it changes the outcome of this particular resort for a lot of people. Not for me. I still can afford to come here, but it changes it for me in the sense that I was not served and looked after the same way I was last year. So that decision for me now to come back or not is going to weigh much on the service that I got, and I don't think I will be back here. But I still like the resort. It's beautiful, it's gorgeous. The service is the only reason I'm going to decide against coming back. So there you have it, folks. I just wanted to just to give you a brief explanation on why I decided not to like coming back to this resort, and to give everyone that's watching, all my viewers, a breakdown to what I experienced here and what you're going to experience, most likely experience, when you come back, or at least when you come for the first time. So be prepared to pay a lot of money for your food, but you will have a beautiful beach and beautiful grounds with 11 swimming pools. So yeah, I hope you have a better time than I did this time. This time I did not have a good time here, and it's unfortunate because I wanted to like this resort again, and I do not anymore. Okay, I also want to point out that in our room, okay, you have a variety of different snacks that you can get, and you know, they raped the customer this year. It wasn't like this last year. It was nowhere near as expensive last year. As a matter of fact, it was chips and whatnot. I don't even think they charged me. But even if they did, it wasn't even anywhere near as expensive as it is this year. I'm talking about cashews and whatnot. I'm going to show you in our room later on. I'll show you the, you know, on the tablet, the pricing. It's a fortune. They charge you $18 for cashews, $15 for pretzels. It's stupid pricing. I mean, why would you want to do that to your customers who are visiting your resort? They don't cost anything. I understand you have to import them, but they don't cost hardly anything. These things are cheap, man. You want to make money, don't rape the customer. You know, make money. You could sell it to the customer, but they're paying an arm and a leg to be on your resort. Why not just give them something on the house other than just coffee? Coffee's the only thing that's free, and 2 bottles of water. Give them a snack or two, and don't rape your customers. Baha Mar, I mean, that's not right. It's something that you shouldn't be doing. So take it for what it's worth, guys, and decide whether or not this is a place for you, if you can afford it. And you know, here's the Malia right across. They're building the water park right beside the Malia and the Baha Mar. There's the Malia over there. They have their beach there too. That's an all-inclusive restaurant. I mean, hotel rather. They do have. Everything's all-inclusive except for the steakhouse. Now, I did do a tour, walk-around tour at the Malia last year. You can look at it on my YouTube page. You can see how nice it is on the inside. Unfortunately, the outside is not the same as the inside. It's very run down, dirty on the outside, perfectly nice on the inside. But the outside, unfortunately, you know, the pool's not that nice. It smells like mildew. I don't like that, you know. But for a lot of families that don't care, you can go there, but it's not even that cheap. Even the Malia was very expensive this time of year. So for families that want to come in July, they're SOL, because whether they come here at a cheaper price at the Baha Mar and pay for their food, or go there for a more expensive price, it's still going to end up being about the same. So you know, you're looking at about $4,500 a person at this time of year. The Malia is usually cheaper than that, but it was very expensive this time of year. And further down we get the Breezes down there. That's the Breezes, all the way down there. And that's a hotel that's been here, who knows how long. Hugh Hefner used to rent the entire resort out and host Playboy parties there, and used to invite all his friends and whatnot, and used to do a, I don't know, some kind of a weekly party every year. But it was famous back then. It was the most luxurious hotel back then, but it's very, very run down. I've been inside it once. I didn't film it. I didn't have my camera just to look at it, but I did go back and I just filmed a little bit on the outside while I was walking by, just to show you. Just a small pool. That's all it is. And we asked a couple that was staying there how much they paid, and I believe it was $1,500 to $1,700 a person, which is all inclusive. So if that's all you want to pay, then the Breezes might be for you. I believe it's a 2 or 2.5-star resort. Check your Expedia or local travel agent, you'll see. And check out YouTubers that have recent video. Don't go by the pictures and the photos that everybody shows you. Make sure you check out visitors that come here and record video, because that's the only true way of seeing the grounds that you're going to be staying on. Videos that are done by the actual resort or the actual travel agent are going to spice it up, make it look even better than what it is for you to get down here. And then when you come down here, you know, you don't like it. It's not what you saw, and you're disappointed and don't want to be here, or would rather be somewhere else. You say, why the heck did I come here for? But that's what it is. But if you don't mind, you know, you pay very little compared to this resort and compared to the Melilla. So there you go. That's the breezes for you. And then there's one more called the Warwick, which I actually like better. The Warwick is a smaller resort. It's on Cable Beach side. And if you go look at my tour, I did a tour on that one as well. That's a lot smaller than the Melilla. And it's about as big as the Breezes, so it's not, it might even be a little bigger than Breezes actually, but it's newer, it's updated. It used to be another, it used to be a different hotel, but they purchased it and re-renovated it. So you have that, and then you have the Rio. The Rio is also on the Cable Beach side, it's right beside Atlantis. It's also an all-inclusive, the Rio, and you can stay there. I stayed there once in the past. It was okay, it wasn't good. I mean, it was good, but it was a bit run down. It's old. I believe in the last 3 years they re-renovated it, so I don't know what it looks like inside. The food, again, is mediocre, and it's not that good. But even at La Carte restaurants, the only one that I really liked was the steakhouse. The steakhouse was actually good, and they had true filet mignon there, not flank steaks like we had at the Le Toc in St. Lucia. They used to say, you know, oh, you get a filet mignon, but nah, it was flank steaks, man. They were stringy. Anyway, yeah, it was pretty good, that steakhouse, and it was included as part of your stay at the all-inclusive, where at the Melilla, it's not. The steakhouse, you have to pay separately. So check out the Rio. I don't know what their prices are. I'm sure they're pretty reasonable, and you're right beside Atlantis. So if you wanted to go to Atlantis for a day, for example, and swim in their side of the park, like they have a separate park altogether, swimming, like not park, but like a swimming, like they're doing over here, a swim park for the kids and for the adults. They have lazy rivers, they have all kinds of stuff. You're right next door. You can pay for the day. I don't know what the fee is. If you want to go over with a family and use their facilities, you could. They charge you by the day if you're not a guest. So, and you're right beside it. So I'm Chris Dallas, signing out. Thanks for watching. Sub, like, comment. I give away free Dualped scooters. You want to win one? Just do that. That's all you have to do. All right. Take care, folks. See you next time.